Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Cool. Uh,
I'll give you a buzz after this, Simon, over that meeting.
yeah, we're probably not going to get many people turn up today just because it's a different day, I'd imagine.
Yeah, we need to draw some numbers, don't we?
Well, it should be touch wood streaming anyway now into the clubs and on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. So we should be streaming. Um,
Okay.
Let me just put an at everybody out so that everybody knows that we're on AMA at the moment. Give us 2 seconds.
I I just did that a short while ago.
Oh, okay. I've
No,
done
thanks, Mark.
it. Well,
Yeah.
never hurts to double up, as my
Yeah,
wife
you go
says.
for it. Go for it.
Right, we're back on. Um, how are you doing anyway, Mark? Because I didn't get much of a chance to talk to you in the mods meeting.
Yeah, doing good, man. Just living the dream.
Living the dream with Guardian and Knight as well at the moment.
Peace. Yeah.
Have you seen all the latest stuff that they've brought out?
No, I'm not even part of that yet.
Oh, you're not. I thought you were in.
No.
Are you not in Guardian tier?
No.
Oh,
Nope.
okay. So yeah, they've brought a load of stuff out for Guardians at the moment.
Oh man.
Yeah, we'll talk offline, or
Yeah.
send me a DM and I'll tell you what's going on.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay.
Andy, do you want to do bingo first? Would that be easiest?
I think it probably is.
Because then people who are just waiting for the bingo result can just yeah, they've got the result, and if they've won, they've won. Do you want to give out 5 numbers?
Um, can't remember where I need to get them from.
I thought, and there I was thinking that you'd be prepared.
Oh,
Hey, good bit of news just came through though. We got that TCG meet next week,
yes, which is really, really, really good. Yeah, that's excellent.
and also to hear that one of our admins is also working on the Kevin Hart project. Have we lost you, Mr. Price?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. That was your cue to talk.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Um, Interesting couple of weeks, but getting much closer to another exchange listing. I've still got to sign off those final details, but should be a good to announce that in the next couple of weeks. Have you heard from Domingo on the marketplace?
No, we were on with him earlier. We should have asked, didn't we?
Yeah, do you mind just asking him in the background now while we're on this
Yeah.
AMA, because
Could you pick some bingo numbers while I chase him? Is that all right? Sorry, I'm having a bit of a tech issue today.
I can't do while I'm running the AMA. That's the issue, because I will have to go off of the AMA channel to go and get the numbers.
Oh.
Hang on, bear with me. Let me see if I can do it.
Sorry, Simon. Yeah, I'm. Oh.
Right, 2 minutes. Just let me go and get these bingo numbers. I'll be straight back.
So I'm just trying to message Domingo.
You can tell we're well prepared on a Tuesday, can't you?
Yeah, sorry, Simon. I'm having a few tech issues here. My phone's playing up as well. Just right. I'm going to go into another room because I'm having a few. Laptop in. It's doing something odd.
Right, I've got these numbers now if you want them.
All right, thanks, Simon.
You
I've messaged Domingo.
Somebody want to put them into the bingo channel for me?
I just shared the AMA on the Multiverse Discord too.
Oh, okay.
Just maybe we'll snag a few people. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
Kind of want to start. I want to start doing that. I just don't want to get in trouble. I mean, I put it under like events, and I always make sure like, hey, if you're interested in our multiverse project / comedy / clubs, please join it. There's nothing like rude about it. I mean, we are in the multiverse, so why the hell not?
Yeah. Why not?
Well,
Do you want to read them out, Simon, and I'll write them down, and then I'll add them into the bingo thing afterwards.
Yeah, so it's 25, 52, 8, 1, 60.
Okay. So just to confirm, 25, 52, 8, 1, and 60.
I don't know if anybody's won, but are we going to go with closest to if they haven't? Because that's it. Because obviously the issue is there aren't that many people entering just yet.
Well, there's not a lot of people generally in there at the moment anyway, as Sam said, because of the time of year. No, and I suspect that people in the UK definitely won't be going in next week because we're due another heat wave.
Well, it's already red hot. So,
yeah,
I'll have my air conditioning on, which will jack up the electric bill yet again. What else have we got to cover off, Andy? Because I was away for the last one, wasn't I?
I think as I've mentioned before, the Sam has been clear with us. We are aware of it. The Infiniverse the footfall is much quieter at this time of year. The weather is particularly hot in the UK and will continue to be. So there's not many people going in. Certainly, well, there are people going in, but the numbers are lower. I don't know what it's like in alt spaces, to be honest, if anybody else knows if the numbers are kind of dwindling in there. But Sam has said, over the years, the data always points to a quieter July and August. So I think it's one of those things. It's why we've not overbooked a load of shows in the clubs, because I don't want to burn content when we've got stuff there and we've got a few other acts to put in. But I'm reluctant to put too many in at the moment. So I'll have a catch up with Katie at our end on a couple of the other ones.
Did Brian give you any idea on numbers or time to get that new example of the app?
He didn't know. We need to get a meeting arranged with him anyway in the next 3 days, Simon, to go through all the back end stuff and integration things. So so just hopping back to the events in the clubs, update on comedy status things and what's happening. There's a new show in there tonight. It might not be everybody's cup of tea, but we're just trialing it. Comedy or humour. This is kind of like back-to-back clips of what this guy does. It's kind of like mini comedy scenes. Everybody's got a different view on this. I know is an introduction from Antoine, so some people might love it, some people might hate it. That's how comedy is. It's like anything in life. But yeah, I'd encourage people to go and have a long. That'll start tonight at 8 p.m. UK time, and it will loop for the next, probably the next week, to give people the opportunity to go in and see Marvelous Marvin, I think it is, TV. So that should be good. Dom will be working with, he's had a couple of shows this weekend over getting him in September. Again, we don't want to burn it while people are away. It's too big an opportunity. Gotham, there's just a little tweak on the proposal for them. Hopefully that should be coming in. Monkey Butt, that's kind of still ongoing. There's a little bit of backwards and forwards there, just over when that may start. But there's several things in the project that it's a bit like a domino effect at the moment. We're waiting for a very, 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 very big domino to topple forward that will in turn knock several others over into place, which will be really good for the project. But we can't say what that is at this moment. But that would really sort of make a huge difference to everything that's going on. So the comedy stuff's all bubbling away. We're still in contact with a couple of the big UK agents. I was just saying to Jane and Mark, I think one of the issues with some of the agents, they just don't understand the Web3 space. The comedians, funnily enough, they're generally up for all this stuff. They just want to perform. They just want to get to new audiences. They just want to try things. So I don't think the comedians are necessarily the worry. The challenge is the agents and getting them to buy into it, because they they don't understand the Web3 space. They just see the money. They just think, oh, you're on Netflix then or on Amazon, which we're not yet. And I think that's been one of the challenges. But again, the big domino that we're working on would have a significant impact to allow us to probably start paying for some of these people to come in to get the ball rolling. So again, Simon and I are working very hard on that stuff along with Domingo to try and get this thing through over the line, so to speak. And hopefully this week we should have it.
We spent
3 meetings already on it.
A significant amount of time and investment on that.
Yeah.
And you cannot stress how big that is.
It is huge.
That will bring everything into line. So
it will. I have chased go over the NFT marketplace, so I've not heard back yet, Simon.
So what you were saying there about Gotham, that deal that's not the big domino that we're looking to knock over, but Gotham is 99% of the way there. We were speaking with Chris Mazzilli, who is the owner of Gotham. He's the person who actually discovered people like Amy Schumer. So, that's the sort of level of person we're talking to now. He's bang up for it. But when you were telling the story about the agents not getting it, you brought back to me the story that he told us, which was he had a $25,000 budget to get somebody onto a show at Gotham and went to an agent and offered $25,000 to that particular comedian, bearing in mind this is a worldwide name for a couple of hours work. The agent turned it down immediately and said, look, won't touch it for less than 50K. And Chris then told us the story to say, look, he bumped into the particular comedian a couple of months later and said it was a shame we couldn't get you onto that show. The agent hadn't even communicated to the comedian that the offer had been made, and then asked Chris what the offer was, and when told that it was $25,000, said that, well, the money wasn't the objective, I just wanted to be on the show. So it's often, very often a case that a lot of the gatekeepers getting in the way, not only do they not understand what we're trying to do, they don't understand Web3, but also they're then putting in, well, we need to take our commission, which, that's their job but when they're being overly greedy.
What you say we need to do?
What's that?
Huh?
Antoine, you're like a party crasher, aren't you?
It wouldn't be the same without him doing it. We love Antoine. We love him.
He's deliberately rustling now as well. I'm going to change his name on Discord to Russell.
I love it.
Honestly, that man could break the silence in the fucking Vatican.
Oh dear, that's made my day. Brilliant, Antoine.
And Antoine's going to have to get on a ban. Like,
I don't know what we were saying now.
No, I was telling the story about Chris Mazzilli and speaking to him at Gotham, and the fact that a lot of these people don't even get the opportunity to perform at events where they're getting invited, which is a shame. But there's a lot more people getting to understand what the metaverse is, and over the next few months, it's going to be a case of people coming to us rather than us having to go to them. The conversation that we had before this one in the mods meeting about how Kevin Hart's community is developing, and his involvement in that community is interesting. But we'll see how that pans out, because there's some opportunities there as well, courtesy of Jane getting involved in their community. She's sort of one degree of separation away from the person who's got direct contact with Kevin, which is interesting. So that's maybe a possibility. I'll be speaking to San about maybe doing a deal with getting Kevin to come over to the Infiniverse, which would be amazing if we can achieve.
Well, it would, because it would help. It's one, it opens Kevin up into a new delivery mechanism, which I think he could be excited about. Two, it does the joke community well. It's amazing for us. and also for the Infiniverse, it gets a big name in there as well. So it's it's something that we'll continue to work on things like that.
Which ties directly into the big domino.
Yeah, it does. It does. Just in terms of the app, the tech thing that we've been dealing with Brian in California on, I had a meeting on, was it Friday, Simon? Because you couldn't make it, could you?
Yeah, Friday.
It was Friday. So I had a really good meeting with them. We had a discussion around how it was being done, and they're developing some further stuff around it. So I'm hoping end of this week, early next week, we might have an iteration to look at internally. We won't take that to the community until we're absolutely sure on it. My guess is there'll be a couple of rounds of that needed to develop things out. At that point, we still need to work out all the JV details with it. So, but that's a massive opportunity as well. So that's all bubbling in the background. We also will be talking to that same guy, Brian, about a lot of tech that he's built out that links with kind of payment gateways and metaverses. So this kind of conversations going on across parties there with people like Sam, Brian, and other people. Simon has already mentioned that we've got the meeting next week with the other Metaverse, which with their chief executive, which would be really, really cool. So that's a massive opportunity again. So lots of big things in play.
Well, that's taken longer than we might have liked because the guy is actually...
He's been ill though, hasn't he? So what do you do?
So, but that,
Yeah, but he didn't. He was injured. I mean, so we can't do anything about that part. But it's still a good thing.
But that's a massive, massive, massive opportunity. Like they've got tens of millions of dollars to spend. So and also somebody on Instagram wants to have a meeting with us about their community and hopefully put us in there. It's in the DM. So they said they're gonna DM us again so they can have a Zoom with us. Yeah.
Possibly doing theirs. Did you see that, Simon?
So yeah, I get that, and part of what I want. I've seen that. That's amazing, and we want to.
Yeah, so
there's more and more activity going on Twitter and Insta. Twitter's really starting to get interesting because I'm getting a lot of people coming to me, talking to me about.
Yes. So that was the Instagram though.
I did put the shout out for some help on it before, and I really am interested in getting members of the community to help run and contribute to our Twitter. Because the busier it is, the better we're going to do. Obviously, the more traction we get over there, the more projects will see us.
Yeah.
What I want is a strategy where if we copy what the guys have done with Ape Spaces, because they are bringing together a lot of the ape projects. Now, there are a lot of cat projects, and there's nothing to say that we can't bring a lot of these projects together to work together. Having spoken to the Ape Spaces guys, they want us to run a comedy event for Ape Spaces. Now, they regularly get 3,000 to 4,000 people turn up on their spaces, and I've been speaking to Brando, who runs it, and he's he's on honeymoon this week, so I can't unfortunately speak to him this week. But before he went, he did say to me, look, we're really, really interested in doing that. They see obviously the metaverse as a chance for them to bring another audience to them. But if we can run a comedy event with Ape Spaces, you got to remember all those guys are all massive crypto and DeFi heads, right? This is not speaking to the audience, that are cold and are not going to buy an NFT or not buy a token. These guys are way deep in the game, right? So it's the same as having an AMA with 30,000 people who maybe sort of just getting into crypto, etc., with 3,000 ready, listening, passionate people who really do go out and buy NFTs and tokens. That's a really good opportunity to work with them. But if we can have a look, if the people within the community can have a look at getting cat projects, right, and anything related and around to talking to us, because we are the Joking Jungle Cats. Why should we not be bringing other cat projects to work with us? So please, if you spot stuff on on Twitter, tag us in, like tag in the Joke Community Project. I will do my best to liaise with those people, but I really, really would appreciate if we can get some help on Twitter, because at the moment it's sitting on my shoulders and I'm doing the best I can. I can't by any means run Twitter full time because it takes ages.
Okay, Simon, I can help you with that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right.
Look, and the more we can post, the better we'll do. You know, the more people we can get onto these AMAs, the more people will get exposed to the project, the better the whole project will do. It's just a case of building through these next couple of months until the market turns and the weather turns, because the weather is horrendous for VR at the moment. Because I went into the Infiniverse the other day and I could almost, I say almost, but I could almost count how many people were in the space, which is, he said, just typically as the weather's really hot, people don't want to put their VR headsets on. So it may be that all of these things are aligning perfectly for a run up into the autumn as the weather improves and as the big domino drops.
We have got another one as well that I need to set another meeting up, Simon, another community that the founder wants to talk to us about, collaborating, which would be really good. So I've just sent him another message.
A lot of that, those, because we've started getting quite a lot of these projects coming towards us now. I believe a lot of that has come from, without blowing my own trumpet, doing a lot more work on Twitter over the last couple of weeks. I think it's starting to reap rewards. So if we, you know, this is the point, and I appreciate Antoine, you making an offer as well. If we can get 3 or 4 of us working on each social channel, it sort of takes the burden of responsibility off of one person individually, and it just gives a bit more variety as well, because, you know, the things that I find funny over here won't necessarily reside well with some of the audiences that, you know, other people in the States or wherever, or different age groups are talking to. So I think we need the variety and not just a 50-year-old bloke in the UK running a Twitter. But some people will find me funny.
Well, I got some young people that they help me do my podcast, and they're very good about putting different groups and spaces in crypto, the young people, so we can get toward them. And, you know,
any of them
maybe they
want to get involved, Antoine, we will reward them, right? So we will give them some apartments, we'll give them some tokens, we'll get them going. And if they want to get on a Joking Jungle Cat mission, let them, because I believe that the floor price on our Jungle Cats should be a lot higher. Should be like, you know, at least half an ETH. So, you know, it beggars belief when we see some people wanting to sell their Jungle Cats really low at the moment. I know ETH has made a bit of a push in terms of a price hike over the last month, doubling in price, but it's still sort of not great when you see Jungle Cats listed at below 0.1. And really, we should be pushing to build the community so that people, you know, see us as a very, very serious NFT project. Because what we got to remember is it's not just the token. So the token's one half of the universe, the other half being the Jungle Cats, and there's no reason why we can't build that community very, very quickly on the NFT side, which benefits the token as well. So, you know, those of you that are NFT holders, please get involved on Twitter. Please, you know, tag in projects that you like, tag in Joke Community into things that you think we should be looking at and talking to. And then, you know, if you are interested, we are interested in rewarding people for helping run that Twitter, because it is obviously, it's already having good effect. Anybody got any questions while we're here? Put your hand up if you've there's a lovely new big hand feature, I think, on Discord. Or if you don't want to speak, you can type them into the AMA live chat.
You have HR. She wants to come speak.
Yeah, she had her hand up earlier, but I think she was waiting. I just invited her to come speak.
Hello?
I,
Okay, here's my question. I don't know if you can hear this or not, but my question is, you guys have had Megastar City for a little while now. I was just wondering what the plan is for Megastar City. But that's it.
Yes, we can hear you fine, and thanks for coming on stage and asking the question. I hope you really are royal, HRH. But yeah, Megastar City is the base for the Jungle Cats, and that is where we're going to run events and the community. So as the Infiniverse grows, that's where we expect to see the really big comedians coming in. For example, with Kevin Hart, you know, the conversation earlier was around, you know, if we can engage his community and bring them into Megastar City, that's where we will want them. It may take some incentive to do that, but if we grow that as a festival venue within the Infiniverse of where we're going to run the majority of the comedy content, that's where it will happen. I know there is a lot of debate in the
Simon, your audio's breaking up quite a bit.
Is it? It might be my
Yes.
internet signal. Did you get the gist of what I said?
yeah, I was fine. Yeah,
Maybe Andy, you can sort of elaborate on what I said.
You sound
Yeah,
better
yeah.
now.
Oh, okay. I haven't changed anything. Yeah, but look, I know one of the contentious issues with the Infiniverse is everybody, and I'm not accusing HRH of this at all, but there is a massive amount of debate in the multiverse community as to what is going to happen with all the cities and villages. And there are people that look at our project, and I know this for a fact, there are people that look at our project and go, why on earth have Joke had the advantage? Why did you get Megastar City? What's going to happen with that, and why did you get something that some of the rest of us didn't get? And now, what are you going to do with it? I'm not saying that's what HRH is saying. I'm just saying, look, that is a definite question within the Infiniverse. I think people need to know that Andy and I are probably as close to, and this is not me talking out of turn, as close to San Shepherd as you can get for a business that is in the Infiniverse, and that has come with advantages. So
it's also come with a price, Simon. We've had to pay as a proper business to do what we're doing. We're not getting this stuff for free.
Well, I forgot that part of it, that we'd paid tens of
some of the people who are complaining, and we know, okay, go and pay what we've paid, which is eye-watering to do what we're doing, because we're trying to build something new, different, exciting, and we've invested a lot of money and a lot of time to get to this point. And I know other people have invested lots of money and lots of other things, but we've done it at an enterprise level as a legitimate business with a lot of other things behind it and a lot of other things going on and lots of conversations with multiple people. And there's a document that we've worked on today with Domingo, and when you look at the names on that document of the people involved in the project, people like Simon, myself and Domingo, and the support team, and some people here have been put on that document as well, there's a lot of people behind this project and other projects. And, it's not just one or two daft lads who are in the 50s from north of England. There's a lot goes on behind it, and I don't think everybody always really sees that it is that. And when people moan that, well, why have they got that? Because we've paid for it. We've actually paid for a lot of this stuff. It's not come free.
But also,
my rant over.
But also, now I'm going to have a rant. The point is that a lot of people are very impatient, and it's all right saying, well, I would love to have a comedy festival in the Infiniverse with some of the world's biggest comedians and hundreds of lesser known and people who are just up and coming in that space. It's not ready for it, right? For a start, the payment gateway isn't ready. We don't want a payment gateway. What we actually want is people able to attend and see sponsored adverts and content around the people around these events. Now that's a different payment model, so that's more along the, rather than having a Netflix model, it's a a BBC model, or a free to air Amazon model, which is paid for with the ads that are inside the platform. Now, where people are really fundamentally not understanding Web3 is the fact that the audience within there is very limited at the moment, and there is a limited amount to do. So when you've got people investing hundreds of millions of pounds into certain metaverses, they're not doing that for fun, but equally they are not expecting a return on that money within the very near future, because they know that if you've built, well, one of my pet peeves is Decentraland. The expense it would cost to go in there now is horrendous. Does it have the footfall? No, it doesn't even have the footfall of the Infiniverse right now, I think.
I tell that fact that I found the other day with Decentraland.
Yeah.
In 2021, so okay, it's about a year out of date, but it's not that long ago, and Decentraland hasn't grown that much in this, not significantly. They only had, was it 1,400, 1,300 concurrent daily users in Decentraland?
But when you look at the market,
that's nothing.
Look at the market cap of that project, right? Over $2 billion.
Traded daily.
So there, people are going, that is future value, completely future value. And, to say we're not, I've said it before, a day in crypto is like a week and a week is like a month. It feels at the moment like, in the market, in a bear market, it feels like you're treading treacle to some extent, waiting for certain things to happen, and also sitting there thinking, well, if I launch a certain thing right now, it will have a very, very minimal effect. Whereas if I hold it off for a couple of months and the market is moving in the right direction, plus lots of other big things come together at the right moment, it has 100 times the effect. So don't think that things aren't there and not planned. They're all there and planned, but they're planned over a period, and that some of those things are planned over the next 5 years, not 5 minutes, which is, it's in certain groups, and particularly the Infiniverse, and even like I was speaking to Sam the other day about people getting impatient about NFTs within the Infiniverse, right? There are people who have bought in that multiverse project tens of thousands of dollars, including us, right? Some of those people have become incredibly frustrated because they expected the project to become an NFT, 5 minutes after they bought their properties. And now they're looking at the Infiniverse as, will it ever? Well, I can tell you, I believe that it may well. I can only use the word may well, right? I still believe it will, but when these people are like going in and bad mouthing San, like somebody was in the game, called him Gamer Scam, right? Rather than Gamer San, rather, he's Gamer Scam, somebody called him, right? And this is somebody who is one of their biggest investors. Now, if somebody came and did that to me in this project and said, Simon, this is a scam, right? You haven't delivered what you said you're going to deliver, and it's not quick enough for me, effectively. Well, they can go. And that's what San said to me. Somebody who can, without it being, and this is third hand, right? And it's not from San's mouth, it's from somebody else in very close to the center of the Infiniverse. When you start seeing people acting in that way, it's incredibly frustrating for the people that are running the projects. And yes, we have very big plans for Megastar City. They are not coming out in the next week, month, probably not in the next couple of months, right? If we're realistic, because we want to run what we're running there with the most advantage for the community. Like,
yeah, I think, Simon, as well, and we have said this before, and I think some of the people who've been in the project from the start, things do change. The roadmap has to put a jink in it, slightly different direction to come back to where we need to go, because the space is still being developed. I mean, the space in the general sense. So not only as a project are we doing an awful lot and pushing an awful lot, we get frustrated. We want things to happen a bit quicker sometimes. The amount of, Simon and I have given the best part of a year of our lives to this, blood, sweat and tears and money. And the whole space is subject to change. Things are developing and altering on a frequent basis. So you have to alter slightly the way you do things. And sometimes it might feel like we don't always update on certain things. That's because we don't always have the answers, because we are working in a space that doesn't have the answers itself. There are more questions, and this is a fact, there are more questions than answers in this space. And I think that's really exciting, because it means there's always new opportunities. But it does mean that sometimes your best laid plans have to change slightly, and you have to alter things slightly to make the best of the opportunities that are coming up. And I have said before to the mods and admins, I've said it to lots of people, we can get up on any given day, me and Simon, and we go, well, we didn't expect that, or wow, that's an amazing opportunity, or this meeting's happened and that means we need to have a think about this. And that happens every single day. And I've worked in the industry I was in for 30 years, and most businesses actually don't have that level of change going on. They don't, because they're not in an industry or a space. This is just on a whole different level, the Web3 space, completely different level. The things happen every single day that are mind-blowing in the space.
Just to put things in perspective, if we look back at the very start of this project, one of our ambitions was to have the world's biggest YouTube channel by filling it with comedy. And if we look at that channel now, it's a failure, because we fundamentally missed the point that to get people to upload a video of themselves telling a joke is incredibly hard, right? We can all sit here in this room and say, I'll do it, I'm capable of doing it. But getting somebody across the line to actually do it without paying them is incredibly hard. And as soon as something becomes moderately hard, people don't bother. Now, if you're an investor in this project, and I said anybody who uploads a joke to that YouTube channel, and the QR code is still there, you can just click it and the app works and you can upload a joke. Anybody who uploads a joke to that channel today can have an apartment code. Well, then people will go and do it because they want to be paid to do something. And you shouldn't have to be paid to go and help this community at the moment, right? There will be paid jobs for admins and mods and influencers and other people within the community. But fundamentally, we all need to work to help our investment and not just leave it to the project leaders who don't have the time to achieve what probably everybody expects of them, which is, anyway, rant over on that respect. But the point I'm trying to make is, we set out with that objective to make that one of the world's biggest YouTube channels. It's not to say that it couldn't be, but to go and get the content for it is going to come from the Web3 space. So when we feed that content back into that YouTube channel, then it's got a good chance, right? Because the content will come freely and easily. Now, I was speaking to a client today, and Andy doesn't even know this, but I spoke to a client earlier, or a potential client, for our YouTube ads agency, and I mentioned to her about the metaverse. An hour later, we're still talking about the metaverse, and she actually wants to get on a plane and fly from France to come and see me and talk about the metaverse. That's the difference and excitement that people have got when you start working in this space properly. So, somebody is going to fly from France and pay me for a day of my time. I know that's not money within this project, but I do have a day job as well, right? But that person will fly from France to come and see me and Andy and talk about her project in the metaverse. Now, when we start looking at how excited people are going to get to go and perform, as in comedians, it's a lot easier to get them to come and perform in our space while we're building it out, and in the future, without having to pay them. Because like Gotham, they don't want paying, they just want the exposure. A lot of these comedians, they want the exposure, they want to know that they're in front of an audience of 10, 15, 20, and in a year's time 100,000+ people. That's what we're building up to. That's what's going to get wrapped around Megastar City and the Infiniverse, but it's also going to be the hub for people to travel out from that community into the other metaverses. So I know we've talked about it before, but I don't know that people understand how much the Infiniverse wants to be the Google of Web3. That's where they see it going. And what you're going to see over the next 6 months to a year are hundreds, maybe thousands of different metaverses springing up in the hope that they become one of them, right? One of the metaverses, but none of those are doing what the Infiniverse is doing as a DeFi project, and actually allowing the community to control the buildings and land that they own. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out over the next 6 months to a year. That's why we're early, right? We're super early. The tech's got to improve. Oculus and, well, the Infiniverse are going to bring in the ability to use mobile and other devices. So that'll boost audiences as well. But what's coming should mean that Andy and I can get out and talk about these projects, not just joke, but this and another project on stages around the world. And that's what's really going to drive. Like, I don't know anybody that's heard of our project and doesn't like it. That, yeah, there's people who it's not quick enough for them. You know, there's a lot of people out there still, well, if I haven't made 10x on my money in three weeks, then, oh, it must be bullshit. You know, it must be a rubbish project. Well, they don't turn up to AMAs. You know, and we thank everybody that turns up and wants to get involved. We just want... It's a very difficult ask to say to people, look, you're here, you've made the effort to turn up. Please just go that little extra mile and help us out on Twitter for now, right? That's probably the next big win over the next couple of weeks, if we can push hard on that, because we're already seeing the fruits of that labour coming forward. We're seeing more projects wanting to talk to us. It's just incredibly frustrating when the market doesn't want to move as quickly as, you know, put yourselves in our shoes.
Simon, I mean, it hasn't even been a whole year of the project. So, I mean, if people can't be patient and understand that when you're patient and everything goes by, if it was just so easy, it'll be feel like it's fake. But going through this process and everything that's going with it is great. And when it all comes together, then we'll be going down. We'll be going up and up, and it won't be able to stop. It'll be a train. So, you know.
Yeah, this will be one of the biggest projects in the metaverse, and we are, well, I hate to say, we are one of only a handful of legitimate projects in the metaverse. Like, there's a whole heap of them that, you know, promise everything and deliver nothing. We are delivering, but I'm sorry it's not as quick as people might like, but it is there. It is happening. Those big pieces are coming into play, and when you guys see what we've built, what the relationship is in reality, which I'm not allowed to talk about, you know, when you start getting things said to you in meetings where this cannot leave this room under any circumstance, that means that you're in a very privileged position to be able to talk to people that are at that level and are willing to help us and want to help, right? Because it's going to be about the content and the community. And we'll bring the content. We need you guys to help us bring the community, because we can't do it on our own. Like, I can turn up, Andy can turn up, Mark can turn up, Antoine, Jane, others that I see in this room regularly can turn up week in, week out. Bring people with you, right? Tell people that, look, just come and listen to one AMA. and meet us, because 9 times out of 10, that's all it takes, is to come and meet people in a project and understand it's genuine. And it's not just a couple of blokes from the UK who are having a laugh, because we do intend to have a massive laugh as we go forward. We intend to be able to stand on red carpets and deliver awards to comedians and all of that good stuff. But I'm not worrying about that for the next couple of 3 years at least, right? But not pie in the sky, really delivering good content and for you guys. So I'll really, I would love to see people helping, getting involved in the community building, because it is the community build. Like there's 12 people listening on air. We need 1,200 people listening on air. We literally do. There is a route to that very quickly. That's something that I'm negotiating at the moment. It's going to cost us, but it's also going to bring us in front of potentially 1 million people. But I'm not going to make an empty promise and tell you what it could be. It's something that will come in the next couple of 3 weeks. I must, while I'm thinking about it, send a message on Telegram to the person, Andy, that is involved, because I need to get that deal over the line, because we're talking tonight about other things as well.
You broke up then, Simon, a bit.
Oh, Q Andy.
I don't know where you were going, what you were saying there, Simon, because it broke up so bad.
Oh, well, you need to interrupt me if I'm breaking up, because otherwise
it was just that last bit that broke up.
Right.
Something about Telegram.
Yeah, I must send that person a Telegram message to get that deal over the line.
Yeah, WhatsApp. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's agreed.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's been done now. That document's been worked on by the 3 of us. So I think that's enough for them to hopefully make a 99% decision.
Yeah. I will send those now. We will speak.
Yeah, shall we wrap this up then? Yeah. And it'll be the same time next week.
There's a little bit more to HRH's question in the AMA live chat. Where do we find info about the utility that we should be seeing with the jungle cats? If you want to come back on, Becca, I don't know if you were talking about like the NFT staking. Obviously, the entry to the shows, which we don't have payment process or whatever. But you guys want to address that a little bit?
Yeah, it does. It obviously she acknowledges that it is in pre-beta.
I think she's talking about the Infiniverse.
Yeah. So the Infiniverse is in pre-beta. Communication and community participation is everything. Yes, correct. And that's what I'm really asking for. There aren't a great deal of our holders that own an Oculus or are in the Infiniverse, right? And I can't turn around and say, let's have a community meetup in Megastar City and round people up, because we could do that. In reality, currently, the best push for us is on the other social channels, because it opens us up to the rest of the world. And when I go into the Infiniverse and see, maybe a couple of hundred people in there, that's not, not what we want to see. What is the plan for Megastar City? Where do we find out about the utility that we should be seeing with the Jungle Cats? The utility with the Jungle Cats is free entry to our comedy events. So at the point where we start bringing people in and charging, Jungle Cat holders get in for free. We will also see staking and farming of those cats coming. Again, I'm not putting a time scale on that, because I don't want to be held to a date or number that could then pass. But yes, 100% we are still going to be able to farm and stake those cats. It's not this side of a very big deal that we're trying to put together. So once we put that together, we will be able to give that to everybody. But realistically, the first piece of utility that you're going to get is free entry to shows that you would otherwise pay for. Yeah, I get that. I really like your project. Just wish we saw you more in the Infiniverse helping to promote it. I am in there regularly. I do not personally have enough time to go in and spend an awful lot of time in there like some people do. Honestly, there's some people that every time I go in there, I bump into some of the same people. I get we could be in there more. I do have a day job, which facilitates me getting paid to run this project. If you want to see me run the joke project full time, that means we have to take money out of the token, which we don't, and won't do until such time as we all want to see the price of that token skyrocket, and everybody else in the project do very, very well out of it. And that's just a case of awareness. Like, I love that you say you like our project. I haven't met anybody that doesn't like our project yet, other than the ones that are who did buy in and then impatient and can't wait long enough because they see the price going down purely because the market's gone down. Like 95% of the projects out there are down by 80 to 90% at the moment. So we will see a massive run. We will be getting in front of a lot more people. Irons are in the fire to get us in front of more than 1 million people. There's several of those irons. We've just got to get one of them across the line first. Because equally, I don't want moon boys or people that don't understand what we're trying to achieve in the project, because they will only come in, hype it up. And I've seen it with other projects, and I saw it with Guardian. If anybody follows that project was hyped from 12 cents up to $18. And it's a cracking project. It's an amazing project. Nick at Night and Guardian, they have got such a bright future you wouldn't believe. And if I would love to compare what we're doing to the future that they have got, because they're an exchange with, the utility of that token is a store of value, and it's bringing in governance and all sorts of other things that are coming in, which only certain people are privileged to at the moment. But those guys are talking to fund managers that have access to billions of dollars. And that project was hyped from 12 cents to $18. And then a couple of people took massive amounts. Someone took $6 million. Another person took $9 million. And they didn't crash the project. But today, I think it sits down at about $1. Now, had you drawn a line from 12 cents to $1 over the last 5 months, everybody would be, wow, this is amazing, it's unbelievable, it's one of the best projects on the entire crypto space, which it actually is. And I've had some people do analysis on that, and not financial advice. This is, you obviously make your own decisions, etc., etc. But that token has got written on it for a predicted future price of $40 in 5 years' time. But what beggars belief is you say to people, well, here's a token that's $1 today, and it's going to be 40 times in 5 years, and they're still not interested, because people fundamentally believe they should make 40x in a month, not in 5 years. So you start talking, when I start talking about us delivering a roadmap over 5 years inside not just the Infiniverse, but multiple metaverses, and the metaverses that survive and win. Like, when you look at the evolution of the web, Google didn't come around for years after the web started. Now, we need to be in the Google of the metaverses, and as a comedy project, the way we get found is we put on amazing content in the metaverses that have the footfall. We're in one of the biggest. We are talking to one of the biggest, and those with the biggest bankroll, like TCG next week. They want content. All of them want content. So when we find those projects and we locate ourselves and position this project in the right places, that's when we get the audience, and we get the other people who say, I really like your project, right? That's when we grow, and it will be slower. It will be slower than people want, but it will be better than 99% of any other projects out there in the metaverse, because we find the people that believe and want to take part. And the piece I am struggling with at the moment is the taking part. Like Becca has just said to me, can you please take part more in the Infiniverse? I will make you the promise that I will make every effort to do more. That's the best I can do at the moment, right? I will make every effort to bring more people, and I will make every effort to come in there more. I can't promise it will be as much as people want, but it will be more, right? So when we do that, we want people who talk about our project to other people. So please don't just be a holder. Please don't just be quiet about us. What will grow, and there will be a critical mass. There will be a point at which you guys that are here don't need to do anything, right? There will come a point in this project where the community does everything for us, because we sit there and we produce the content, we make the connections, we build the comedy clubs in the Infiniverse and other metaverses, and then we just show the content, because that's what we want to do, right? The community then takes care of itself by talking about what a cracking project this is, and people want to get involved. That's when it explodes, not when we pump it through, going on AMAs with like Moonboy groups, and they don't want to look at us anyway. They're all just looking for the next 100x in 5 minutes, which doesn't necessarily exist, or they're still shouting about Sheeb or Doge or any other crap that's out there, right? They're not interested in serious projects, and that's what's a Moonboy. Becca says, what's a Moonboy? Somebody classed as a Moonboy is somebody who just wants to jump on a token, it goes to the moon, and like they're probably young dudes who want, smoke too much weed, and have bought a load of dodgy NFTs, and they're flipping them left, right, and center. They bring their crowd with them. They all jump on board. They boost the price of a token, and then they all sell and bugger off and have nothing to do with the project ever again. Yeah, flippers.
Simon, weed is legal.
Not in the UK. It's not, Antoine. Yeah.
It was just a joke. It's not about somebody smoking weed. It's about somebody believing in the project.
Yeah. No. And I mean, like, literally, some of these people are smoking crack. Right, that ain't legal. I know that for a fact. But
no, crack is illegal, and if you smoking crack, you're a crackhead. That's what it is.
The cracker.
Hey, I take offense. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to say that I have an Oculus, and I'm in the metaverse, not very often. Well, just a reminder that we do have a show there this afternoon. But we would love suggestions from people who are in the Infiniverse a lot as to what ways we could promote ourselves more in the Infiniverse. I'm not a marketer. I don't, I don't think that way. So any ideas? I mean, I know, we've got the bingo thing going on, and we've not seen much participation. So I don't know what ways we can. I'm sorry.
So this girl, one of the person in the audience named Wendy Storm inboxed me and said that they can't find the bingo when it's bingo night. So I don't know how they're able to find it or get to it. I guess you got to give them maybe directions on trying to get to it, because a couple people inboxed me and said that when it's bingo time, they can't find where to get to.
It's very, very clear instructions on how people can take part. We now have the joke hub. So, Andy, do you want to talk about that? Because I don't know that people know that it's there yet.
Yeah, we have talked about it. We have mentioned it, so I'll repeat that. So, when you go into the Infiniverse and you go to Central City, you come out in the main kind of square of the Infiniverse, the main one with the super tall building. If you go right there in that Grand Central area, you'll see a metro station. To the left of the metro station is our main comedy club in Grand Central. That's what it's called, the Joke Comedy Club Grand Central. If you go downstairs into the club, there's a door that takes you to the Joke Community Hub. Go through that door, and you will have access to all the other comedy clubs in the Infiniverse. And on the top on the top level, you will have access to the bingo. All the doors are there. You can get backwards and forwards. It makes it really easy for getting around. So that's being put there. So that does make it much easier for people to access everything. I think just in on a note in terms of Simon and I go into the Infinitors, we do go in. One of the challenges that we do have is the time difference. So often a lot of people are wanting to go in when it's the middle of our night and we're asleep. So that's been one of the challenges as well. I know last week on Thursday and Friday, I think I must have been in for about 7 hours over both days. I was in an awful lot last week, having to sort out lots of stuff, building the hub, talking to people. So Simon and I have said we do need to try and get in there a little bit more, but we have to prioritise. As I've said, each day is different, and we get up, and the last 2 weeks, week and a half, I would say most of our time, yes, we run the day job of the agency, but we don't spend loads on that. We spend a lot of time on this project and the aligned ones, and that document that we wrote has taken an awful lot of our time, and we have to prioritise what we think as project leaders is going to give us the biggest returns. You are right, Becca, we do need to get into the Infiniverse a little bit more, but when you have the opportunity to write a proposal that involves multiple noughts at the end of it, that could change everybody's, well, everything, we have to prioritise those things. And that's what's happened with this project. You know, every week, every day, something new happens. Best intentions, me and Sam go, right, we'll go into the Infiniverse. Guess what? We don't get in because there's other things that we're having to deal with. But yes, you're right. We will start to get in there a little bit more, and we do need to do that. But to find the bingo now, you just go through the hub, and it's nice and easy. It's dead easy to find. It's clearly signposted. The graphics are clean and simple to read, not like lots of things in the Infiniverse where you have to actually walk up to it to actually read it. You can read our signposting is much easier to do. I've done that intentionally so that people can see from a distance. So yeah, go into the Grand Central Comedy Club, go downstairs, go into the main community hub. It's on 2 floors, and all the doors are there to everything that you need to know. You can even go and look at your OpenSea, your Jungle Cats through the OpenSea door, and also the Night Swap door. So they're all there. It's easy to use.
It's interesting to see Becca say that not a lot of people go into Grand Central nowadays because the property there is horrendously expensive, and people have built out their areas in the outskirts of the Infiniverse. Like the UK district is right on the edge of the map. So, looking at speaking to Dave Salt, he's got the UK district and a massive team that help promote it, and that's literally right out on the edge of the map. So busy district, but we're still seeing people getting frustrated. It's almost as if it is to some extent too big before, but then you've got to look at Chris. When we speak to Chris and San, and you're talking about how this is getting built out and what's coming next and where it's going, there's like, he's not talking about tens of thousands of people. He's talking about millions and tens of millions of people in the next couple of years. So it's not hard to see a scenario where that land in the centre, which we've got, as in the club in Grand Central, eventually will be incredibly valuable. The problem is that they are continually promoting the content that's there across the whole Infiniverse, and that immediately takes people out into different districts. So the whole way they're doing it is great. It's how it should be done, because it's done so that the people are in control of it. So when it expands onto PC and other platforms, it's going to blow up. But it is still pre-beta, so there's parts of those conversations with San that, I know where it's going. I'm just not allowed to say. I wish I was, but those announcements will come from the man himself or the San himself. So,
hey, I just wanted to chime in real quick because kind of riding the coattails of what HRH Becca was saying earlier. I mean, I don't know. As you're talking, my mind's just racing, and like, she has a good point. You know, we are. I mean, I know, you know, it's difficult to get involved in the Discord itself, like getting in there to talk about stuff. But I mean, as far as like, you know, you guys being how big you are in the Infiniverse, the closest, you know, to Sand, and we were the first business in there, and so I think it speaks volumes, especially when we're talking about stuff. I don't think there's any other platform other than the Discord itself or any other business that talks about the Multiverse project like we do on a regular basis. And the fact that we are now streaming into the clubs, I think it would make sense to list our AMAs on their events page. What do you think? I think that would be a way to, I mean, it is an event. We stream it into the clubs on a regular basis. I mean, I think it's
booked in, Mark, but it's now booked in.
Yeah, we are booking. These are booked going forward.
Oh, they are? Okay. I didn't know the AMAs are listed as events now.
I contacted Mrs. Cummings and
perfect.
And it is the joke AMA with the bingo booked in as a regular slot.
Yeah, because I have to say, even listening,
revert back. So yeah, it's booked in.
That's great. I mean, like I'm just sitting here and it's just something like I'm not thinking about it from like an outsider perspective because we're in these every week and we're always talking to you guys. But like, you know, you really do build a lot of confidence in the project itself, not just joke, but in the multiverse project, Infiniverse, and where it's going. I think you're more knowledgeable than a lot of people. I think it's a really great thing that you got them booked now. It definitely, I think it will make a big difference because I mean, we are the largest footprint business wise in there. You know, so I think it speaks volumes.
Don't worry, Mark. We've got plenty of haters too.
Oh yeah, of course, but you know, but I think in general, I mean, I think you do more positive than negative. I mean, we all would agree on that.
Yeah, we do.
But yeah, no, I think it's really great, and you know, even outside of the project, like hearing you guys speak of stuff, I mean, it builds my confidence in the, you know, VR, you know, future. I mean, it just, you know, you and I, we were kind of similar in the same age. Like I got involved in IT before Google, so I mean, I have that visibility of how things can go, right, or how things can blow up so fast, and so a lot of people don't have that. So I think I would think to say that we're kind of like a beacon within the project, right?
Well, there's a lot of people out there that it'll be their first time around of seeing some of the tech blow up. Like, you know, when the internet blew up, I was obsessed with it, and obviously still working it and still obsessed with it. But it's, you know, hence why I've got the OG on the front of joke, because I'm like OG in Google, OG in SEO, all of those sorts of things. But it's it will be, this will go a lot quicker as long as we don't get, we are going to get a massive shitstorm of metaverses over the next year. Of course we are. Like, I even saw the Minionverse getting listed. Like, what the, you know, what is, yeah, fine, let's all run around and be minions. That's called a game. That is not the 3D web, right? And there's going to be a massive differentiator between what is a game and what is a metaverse. So you look at things like the Ape project, how they're going forwards with other side, that can genuinely win, right? That can be an amazing space and can turn into, into the way, I'm trying to read these questions as they go, you know, people are watching the joke project to gauge possible success. Yeah, look, there's things coming in the Infiniverse, not speaking out of turn, that are going to blow the whole thing, blow the roof off of it. But once it's not in pre-beta, and people need to realise the millions of dollars that it takes to run that project, right? It's not something that any of us could achieve and ever dream of building. But yeah, you're right. Look, we need to get in there a bit more. I'll take that on board, Becca, if I can get other people to please help me with Twitter, because I'm already seeing success there. If you're saying I'm going to see good success by spending more time in the Infiniverse, I absolutely will. But I don't want to see any of us doing it all. It's just, yeah, that's my frustration is Andy and I are not as young as we might like, and we have incredible energy for this project. That won't last forever, so we want some help.
Well, Becca's offering to help. And so, Andy, you said that the AMA events are posted as events in the Infiniverse. Has it been updated to Tuesdays now?
Yes, I contacted her yesterday. What I've done, I've told her to keep it for Tuesday until further notice, because I think there's a wider debate that we'll have over the next few weeks about what day is best for the AMA anyway, because I think that's shifting slightly from it being a Monday to doing it on a Tuesday. But again, we'll have those conversations over the next few weeks. But for the moment, in August, when it's a bit quieter and things are going on like they are, the AMAs are now only on a Tuesday evening, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. UK time. It's booked in as an event on Oculus, and it's linked with the bingo announcement as well. So that's booked in. When we want to revert it back to another day or another time, I just contact them and they'll do it. So it's not a big deal.
And those the posters say that the bingo winner will be drawn during the AMA. So do we want to do that now?
We've done it at the start.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah.
I know I joined late. Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So the numbers are up. The debate was whether if somebody, because there weren't that many people that took part, if somebody hasn't got the exact numbers, are we going to go with the closest numbers?
When you say the numbers are up, where are they up?
I sent you a message, Jane. It's appeared.
They're not posted. I can post them in announcements now if you want.
Yeah, could you do that, Simon? For some reason, on my menus, loads of stuff's disappeared on Discord. I did send Jane a message.
I haven't gotten a message from. Are you talking about on WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check.
Yeah, the bingo and some other stuff's disappeared off my menu. I probably just need to do a restart, but I don't want to do that while I'm on here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me check and make sure everything's okay with your account. Yeah, I'm sorry I joined in a little bit late, but thank you.
Right.
Well, I just want to say that everybody's putting in the due diligence and helping, and the project's good. Just more people have to have faith. That's what the big thing's about. Because you and Simon and Andy are putting in the work. Everybody on this panel is putting in work, trying to help get us in many metaverses as we can, so we can put our name out there. Twitter's doing good. Nothing happens overnight. So
it is that close. It is like literally a hair's width away. So nobody panic. This is as good as it's ever been. Like Andy said, I've never written a proposal that's had a number on it that's over $100 million. So if we pull off that, and that's a serious proposal, that's not a joke. Right? That is something that we are pulling together. But when you start putting numbers down like that, albeit over a 3-year period, that's next level stuff, right? I've been in business for a long time and written some really big proposals for people, and dealt with.
It's the biggest proposal I've ever done.
Yeah. And
I've worked on some of the UK's biggest advertising accounts that were worth over 100 million a year.
Yeah.
And this is way bigger.
Well, like our biggest YouTube ads MCC client at the moment does 320k a month. That's not $100 million. So let's I need to get off this AMA because I can't send this document. I very nearly went into my direct messages. Right, I very nearly went in my direct message and blew the whole shit up by sharing the message that I shouldn't be sharing.
Oops! Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, sorry. Accidental live stream of content that shouldn't be out there yet. But
yeah,
what we'll do. Let me get this document sent. There's that message and there's the one on Telegram that I need to address. And we should have news. Obviously, if there's breaking news, you will see it in the announcement. But we really appreciate everybody. We really I love it when people ask questions and get involved. Becca, thank you so much
you.
today.
Yeah, thank
really
you.
appreciate that.
And we look forward to seeing you in the Infiniverse, Becca. We will see you at some point soon.
Yeah, come and tap me on the shoulder. So anyway, we're
I mean, if I can ask you to drop the AMA into the AMA playlist,
I will,
and that'll pull it in. Thank you, appreciate it.
Awesome. Okay, thanks everybody for today.
Thanks,
and
everyone.
we will see you soon.
Cheers, guys. Bye.